Okay, so now that I got everything taken apart, put away in baggies, the frame's all ready to go in and get powder coated in 2 weeks. When I get it back, it'll just get put away for the winter, but come next spring or during the winter, if we have any warm days and I have the time, I'll be able to come out and start working and cleaning on the other parts. What we're going to do now is we're going to pull the head off of this motor. We're going to find out what happened inside this motor. Well, I can tell you right now that either the head nuts were way over torqued or this motor got hot, because those nuts are way too hard to get off for 18 psi. Alright, well, I'll just have a look inside the head here. The head looks pretty good. I don't see a lot of detonation. There is a slight bit of detonation, but nothing extremely serious. There we go. So it looks like maybe the cylinder is fine. I don't see any issues with that cylinder at all. Still got the cross hatching in it. So just put the cover back on for now. And have a look at that piston and the crank and see what we got going on there. That bolt on the bottom should have never been tightened up that tight. There we go. Is in really good shape. There's no marks that I can see anywhere. Bearings all feel really good. Everything spins well. And there's no deposits of any metal in the bottom, no aluminum or anything. That's a really good sign. No excessive wear up here in the Kickstarter area. I'm really happy with this. A lot of times you pull these apart and there's a lot of metal in there, and you got to start looking for gears and worn cases and things like that. This looks really good. Gently get in here, get this plate off. Okay, let's have a looky here. Okay, so this is most definitely a brand spanking new clutch in here. Never even been used. There are no heat marks on the friction plates at all. So that is great news. Brand new clutch. Alright, so we'll just pull this all off in one assembly. Alright, so got that all out of there. Nice brand new clutch plates. Gosh, that's nice. So now we can continue to get this nut off. Let's tip it up now. Get a better view on things. Okay, so inner washer. Underneath here, there will be a thrust washer right there. You don't want to lose that. And then pull the basket off, and there will be a double bearing set. Alright, so we've got the Tusk case splitter mounted on the motor now. Made sure that all of these are even with each other, away from the case. You don't want any binding. You don't want to strip those holes out or crack it. So you want to have a rubber mallet on hand. You never know if the case is going to split easily at the back here. So we are going to slowly start to crank on this bolt right here, and this will start to split the case. Now the case is coming apart really easy. I'm going to show you that right here, hopefully. And it looks like it's coming apart evenly as well. Okay, so now I'm coming apart a little bit more at the front than I am at the back. Just gonna check this over, give it a good wrap with a hammer. And I think what it is it's this area right in here. Now I don't want to keep going and create a huge gap at the front and no gap at the back. So we're just going to keep tapping it. It may sound like I'm hitting it hard, but I'm not. Oh, there, I think I got it. Okay, I'm going to tilt it now because I think I might be able to get it apart. And there we go. Okay, so now we got to take this apart. And 3. Okay, so let's get this side of the case off. There we go. Now this is where you got to be cautious because there are things in here you don't want to lose. So when I took this off, one of the thrust washers right there stayed inside the case instead of on top of this spot right here. So you need to take out your pins for your shifting forks, okay? And once you've got those out, then everything will move freely. You just push your shifting forks off to the side so they're no longer in the shifting drum. And then gently start sliding all this assembly out. Okay, so I have had a thrust washer come off, which I'm pretty sure I don't know where it goes. Great. Well, I'm going to be looking at a schematic for that one. This one here was the bottom fork. This one here was the top fork. And this one here was the fork from the other side. Now I'm just going to slide the pin back through it. Hold all this together. Put the pin through on that side. And there you have it. You've got your whole transmission assembly right there. I'll show you here's the main bearings. I don't know if you can hear that, but they don't turn very well. They are toast. They got really hot. Okay? So, rather than going out and buying yourself more than one tool, you can actually get away with using your case splitter to get your crank right out. Okay, so now we just go back to exactly the same way as we split the case. We're just going to hold this and we're going to start cranking this in. And there she goes. That crank is being pushed right out of that side of the case. Just like that. Alright, we got the bolt out of the crank, we got the crank out. So I'm just going to show you what the issue is here. So this was, from what I can tell, a brand new Hot Rods crank. I mean, this thing looks brand new. And right there, you can see, as I'm moving it around, right there, it is seizing up. So it is toast. Now the crank itself, the outer parts of the crank itself all look good. There's zero damage to them. So it's going to need a new pin, a new rod, new piston, and new bearings. So I'll hang on to this crank here and get it rebuilt, unless it's cheaper for me to just buy a kit. But I doubt it because I'm pretty sure I can get a rod kit for this for about 110 bucks, and I can get somebody to put it in for 50. So it's about 250 bucks before taxes for crank kit. All right, so that's going to wrap up the disassembly of the motor. Unfortunately, I had some corrupted footage there at the end. There was about 5 minutes more of that video. So basically what I've determined is I need a full rebuild right from the bottom of that motor all the way to the top. Be keeping the cylinder, be keeping the cases and the transmission, but everything else in that whole motor is going to get replaced. I haven't got the frame back from the powder coater yet, but I expect to get it really soon. They missed it on their last paint cycle. I'd imagine it's probably done now, but I probably won't pick it up for another couple of weeks when I've got a week off. And then we'll start ordering up the parts that I need for the bike and cleaning everything else and start to assemble everything. The motor will probably be the last thing that I assemble. I'm still looking at purchasing a motor stand. I don't have a motor stand. Most of the time I'm working on it just on a couple of wooden blocks, but I want to get a motor stand so that I can start to have just stuff sit, because I typically have to put things away and then take it out. I don't have somewhere where I can just leave it out all the time and work on it whenever I feel like it. I got to put everything away and take it all out. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for coming out and watching my videos. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, leave some comments, share with your friends, and I'll catch you all next video.